Bum ba da bum 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 bum.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of FrankenBuddy Gaming, doing some Minecraft or something. In any case, today I'm playing Sky Wars. I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. I've seen a lot of big YouTubers do this, play Sky Wars, and then talk about things. And I figured, hey, I got things to talk about. So, who is this FrankenBuddy? Well, first off, I'm a dude. I'm just a dude who plays Minecraft. I make YouTube videos about it, and I think they're pretty cool. But second of all, I've done jujitsu since I was a very small child, and when I was like 7, I went to jujitsu. And in jujitsu, you grapple with guys. You try to get in the best position possible to do horrible things to them, basically, to fight. You know, it's a fight. It's a fighting sport. And I was going with this guy. He was bigger than me. He was older than me. And he's like, "Hey, can I call? I need a nickname for you." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Can I call you Frankenstein?" And he was joking, man. He was just being funny. And I was like, "No, you can't call me Frankenstein." And so he beat me, and I go back in line, and we were rotating out, fighting each other, right? And for whatever reason, I go back and I fight him a second time, right? For just randomly. I guess he was beating a lot of people. But he's like, "Okay, well, no Frankenstein. So what if I call you Buddy?" And I was like, Nah, don't call me Buddy. That's not a good nickname. And so he beats me again. And I go back in line, right? And then for a third time, I go back to this guy. And it's really funny. I go back to this guy for a third time. And we're fighting, and he's talking to me. Because, it's pretty chill sometimes. If you're with a friend, you're sparring with a friend, it's pretty chill. And so I'm talking to this guy, and he's like, "What if I call you FrankenBuddy?" And at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever. He can call me whatever. So I'm like, yeah, sure, FrankenBuddy, whatever. And so he beats me for a third time, and I go back in the line. And he gets up a little bit, and he yells at everybody in the room, "Hey, this guy's FrankenBuddy!" And everybody was like laughing, they thought it was funny. And then people started actually calling me FrankenBuddy. It was really weird. But this kid, he was like probably the most popular kid in the class. He was 12. I was like 7. I was a smaller guy. I was a really little guy, actually. But this guy, he called me FrankenBuddy. And then everybody started calling me FrankenBuddy that day. And then I go back to jiu-jitsu. I go like 2 or 3 times a week. And everybody just started calling me FrankenBuddy. It was really odd. Like, you think it would happen one day and everybody would forget about it. But no, everybody actually started calling me FrankenBuddy. To the point when even my closest friends at jiu-jitsu did not know my actual name. Which was super weird. And let me tell you, I was good at jiu-jitsu. And so I beat a lot of people, even as a 7-year-old. And people knew who I was until instead of that kid who called me FrankenBuddy, I became the most popular guy in class. And everybody was calling me FrankenBuddy. It was really weird. But it became my nickname. And I just didn't tell people my real name because FrankenBuddy was cooler. And I'm not going to tell you my real name because FrankenBuddy's cooler. But from then on, I was just FrankenBuddy. And I went to that jiu-jitsu gym for many years, and I was just FrankenBuddy. Even to the coaches, people call me FrankenBuddy. And I think that's just a really interesting way. It's a very interesting origin story, if you know what I mean. So, if ever a guy wants to call you a nickname, and you say no, and then you meet that guy again and he wants to call you a different nickname, you say no. But when he gives you a third nickname, you should say yes, because that nickname will stick with you for the rest of your life. And you may just become that nickname. Just like I became FrankenBuddy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It was fun to make. It's a really cool story, and I figured you guys should know why I've got such an outrageous name. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.
Bum ba da bum 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 bum.